Titan! This unique hypercoaster doesn't seem to get a lot of love, despite its 255-foot drop and unique style trains that made their way into Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. The largest issue I've heard about this coaster before riding it was the huge amount of positive G's that it places on riders, especially in its helixes. But what if I told you that despite not being a huge fan of positive G's, I find this to be the best roller coaster at Six Flags Over Texas? Find out why in this review. Giovanola only built 3 roller coasters before going bankrupt as a company. The unique inverted roller coaster Anaconda in South Africa, and Goliath and Titan at Six Flags Magic Mountain and Six Flags Over Texas respectively. The track looks very similar to B&M's track, since Giovanola did do a lot of work with B&M before trying their hand at making coasters for themselves. Titan is slightly bigger and taller than Goliath from a stat standpoint, but is no slouch with its 255-foot drop. The theming around Titan, however, is lacking, as Titan is tucked back between the parking lot and on top of a backstage parts graveyard. Additional theming or putting this coaster in the middle of the park would have been a really nice touch, but Over Texas had to add it where they could. Plus, none of the Six Flags Over Texas coasters have much solid theming around them anyways. The weird random path and general lack of signage to Titan seems to be a drawback in that it can be hard to find. However, this is a blessing on a busy day, as will likely still only be a 20-minute wait by the time you ride La Vibora and New Texas Giant twice, allowing you to continue to maximize your day without having to worry about crowds. Though, I have seen the queue line entirely filled up to about the Scrambler by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, just get here early on a busy day and you should be able to get all the rides you desire. As for seat placement, I prefer the front row for the visuals and the sense of speed. The front car, with the left side, front row in particular, gets a nice sense of hang time on the stall coming off the second dead stop on the brake run, which helps elevate these elements more. The back car also didn't seem to give much airtime on the first turnaround, whereas I've experienced a good pop going into it up front. The back does give an extra whip into the main drop though. There are other better components to maximize on this coaster though than its first drop. After leaving the station, with just a seatbelt and a lap bar, you travel up the 245-foot hill. With not much to see, this isn't the scariest of lift hills. And if you're a sports fan, you can look out and see both the Rangers Stadium and the Cowboy Stadium to your left, which is a nice perk for any roller coaster lift. The first drop is only okay, with its biggest plus being just how long it is. In the back row, you get whipped over the drop before realizing, about halfway down, that you're still falling and have a long way to go. With its gradual 65-degree angle, it doesn't offer strong sensations, unlike, say, the great first drop on the New Texas Giant. But it does offer a Titan-sized drop that apparently gets you going up to 85 miles per hour? The tunnel at the bottom of the hill is taken too quickly to really enjoy, but disappearing at the bottom of the drop does create a nice visual, except the theming around the tunnel isn't very well done. The turnaround is a surprisingly good element. In the front, I normally get a solid pop of airtime into the element that is accentuated by the banking into the turn. And this easily ranks as a better turnaround than any B&M Hyper turnarounds that I've experienced. The second drop is profiled weird with its banking, so it inconsistently gives me airtime on my various rides. If it hits, it makes this a standout element, but the drop, like the first one, just wasn't built to be as good as it could be. Then you fly over a solid airtime hill that will have you floating out of your seat, Since I'm a big fan of floater airtime, this is easily my favorite part of Titan. And I appreciate that airtime over such a big hill is executed so well, since sometimes these types of hills don't deliver as much as they should. Then you travel into the legendary, powerful, upwards Helix. If I sat comfortably back in my seat and braced myself, I didn't find this Helix nearly that painful or even overly strong on the positive G's, as others had told me before riding. It is a strong and forceful Helix that adds another set of forces to the first half of this coaster before braking you to a stop twice during the brake run. When it comes to the overall design of this coaster, there are some serious questions with the second half. For those interested in speed, the complete stop on the brake run could be puzzling. But the second half has absolutely crazy positive G's, even with a double stop on the brake run. So lessening these is a priority as to not be gassed up too much. The drop off the brake run, despite its rather modest size, is profiled well to offer a decent drop feeling for this type of drop. And the aforementioned quasi-hang time off the stall that has you looking down towards the ground in the front car is a beautiful touch that I wish was included on more coasters. After the drop off the brake run, you traverse an overbank that really doesn't do much on-ride besides piling on the positive G's. Off-ride, you can really tell how much of an overbank this is, but on-ride it just seems like a forceful bank turn. Then you go into Helix time. My brother loves to sing in this part that everyone loves Helix time. But this low to the ground Helix is even more tight and powerful than the larger one before the brake run, and pounds me with positive G's in a way that just isn't entirely enjoyable. I don't agree that everyone loves Helix time. No. But if you're looking for strong forwards, positive G's, this is a phenomenal place to get those types of forces. Then you traverse a few final forceful turns before mercifully ending your positive G heavy second half on Titan. Overall, how good is Titan? Titan's first half carries this ride for me, as I feel it executes its elements very well. Its drop could be better, and there could be more consistency on how its elements hit. But especially in the front row, this is a special ride. I rank it as the best coaster at Six Flags Over Texas because I've had some rough and nauseating experiences on other solid coasters like New Texas Giant and Mr. Freeze. Aquaman's great weightlessness on its bike and Shockwave's magical airtime are the second and third best coasters in the park for me, behind Titan's strong first half. In my overall rankings, I rank it very highly, even though maybe it's not exactly what I want in a coaster. I place it right above Six Flags Over Georgia's Goliath, as I feel Titan's larger elements just hit for me. I place it right below one of my favorite overall coasters in SeaWorld San Antonio's Steel Eel, as the Steel Eel offers truly enjoyable airtime over its various hills. Though, as I do with other roller coasters, particularly many at Six Flags Over Texas, I could clearly see others ranking this coaster much lower due to it being too intense with the positive G's. How good of a roller coaster do you feel Titan is? Does it have a solid first half? Is it too heavy on the positive G's? Let me know. And, as always, Kapkun Krap.